Hello everyone. You can find the course outline on the Moodle site. If it has to be updated, I will upload the updated course outline there and make sure that I indicate to you that it's been updated. Now my office is Nichols 304, but it is July and most of you are not on campus anyhow. So my office hours are going to be by arrangement and via Skype. So if you need to talk to me individually, we'll set up a meeting that we can conduct via Skype. Email me to set up such a meeting. The name of this course is Introduction to Linguistics for Language Teaching. And I think that people reading the introduction to the name of this course are going to think that we're going to talk a good deal about language teaching. And the truth is we're going to mostly be talking about linguistics. This is one of the graduate courses on the books at Bishop's that talks about, that connects with language teaching. We have courses on second language acquisition, we have courses on language pedagogy and language methodology. These are all on the books and they're not taught a lot, but hopefully in the future we'll be teaching them more. In many ways this is an introductory course, a preparatory course for those ones. It's not a prerequisite, but it's one that I think makes a lot of sense to take in advance of taking other courses on second language acquisition, for example. You'll notice in the textbook there are chapters on second language acquisition, and we're not going to deal with those chapters because we have an entire course on the books on second language acquisition. So let's look at the course description as it appears in the calendar. This course is a survey of linguistic theory as it relates to second language teaching. Students are exposed to major themes in linguistics as a basis for the study of second language teaching and learning. I've mentioned what those major themes are that we're looking at here. I mentioned them in the previous video: phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics, and various areas of linguistics related to language and culture and power. All of these, I think, are very important for language teachers to know. Even though I'm not going to be talking a lot about language teaching, I do expect you to be thinking about the relevance of this material to language teaching, and I will mention sometimes directly what that relevance is or would be as far as I'm concerned, and I'm certainly happy to answer questions on how this connects to language teaching. The course also intends to provide a foundational knowledge of linguistics necessary for understanding other language courses or courses in language teaching, and that's what I consider the main goal of this course to be, because we do have so many courses in linguistics on the books that I would like to see being taught regularly. One of the things that this course offers is an opportunity to practice, engage with, and contextualize knowledge from these areas of linguistics in languages relevant to you as a student in this course. I'm going to ask you sometimes to talk about this area of linguistics in relationship to a language that you know, or a language that you are learning, or perhaps a first or second language of yours. And you may have to do some further research, but it will allow you to embed it in the various languages that you know and deepen your learning in that way. Now this course is taught entirely online. This is the first time I've taught a course entirely online. I've certainly used technology in many of my courses, but this is new for me. For some of you, this will be new for you. Taking courses entirely by distance is not new to me. I took distance learning courses at the graduate level before there was such a thing as online courses. It does take a certain amount of discipline and independence, especially on a bright summer day. Also, I know that with online courses you can feel very distant from the instructor. You're not going to bump into me in the hallway, and there isn't time to just grab me after class. You will actually have to make a point of asking questions in the forum or contacting me via email to set up meetings. And I'd like it to be one of those two things. You might have some small technical questions via email, but if you want to talk, we'll set up a Skype. If you have questions about the course material, let's talk about it in the forum so that the discussion can include everybody, as a class discussion would. A few words about the textbook. It's big. It's a very, very big book. I haven't assigned every chapter in that very big book. In fact, there's a big chunk of chapters right in the middle that you are not required to read for the course. If you wish to read them, go ahead, and if you wish to make them part of your Linguistics and Focus assignment, then that could be a possibility as well, or an area in there to make a part of your Linguistics Focus assignment. That might be a possibility, but you will not be required to read those chapters for the course. So take a look at the each section, what's included and what's not. So that you don't do a lot of extraneous reading. But it is a heavy textbook. It goes into a lot of detail. You may come away with it with a lot of unanswered questions. Ask them in the forum. Also, the textbook is written by many different linguists who have expertise in the different chapters they're focusing on. So it has different voices. Some chapters are easier to read than others. Some are much more readable, much more clearly stated. So it is going to be a bit of an up and down struggle with some chapters in the book, and feel free to talk about that. You will absolutely be requiring Moodle for this course, and you will require access to the internet in order to access Moodle and the various resources linked on it. There's no way that you can do this course without access to the internet. So let's talk about the evaluation. 80% of your grade comes from the activities and applications section, booklets. There will be 4 booklets. I'll make them available on Moodle during the course. The first one should be available on Moodle right around the start of the course. I'm thinking for July 1st. The others will come out incrementally throughout the course. These booklets will ask you questions, exercises, give you tasks connected with the readings, the video lectures, and you will be expected to answer all of the questions or do all of the exercises and send the booklet back to me. The booklets contain IPA characters, or some of them do. Those ones will be available as a PDF because I find that that document files sometimes mess up IPA characters more. And you will answer these booklets, or at least certainly those questions. You're going to answer those questions on paper and either scan or mail the booklet back. In order to answer questions using IPA characters, I think you're probably going to be wanting to work with a pencil, simply because it's much more difficult to find the characters on most word processors. If you want to do it via computer and you have the time and energy to figure out how to find the characters, then go ahead. Each booklet will contain some instructions on how to return it to me. You'll notice there's no deadlines here. I'm not imposing early deadlines on most of these assignments, as you may be completing the course at your own pace. But there is a firm deadline in terms of marks for the course. I'm actually not quite sure what that is, but all assignments must be in before the course is over. Everything has to be in before the end of July. This Linguistics and Focus assignment asks you to focus in on an area of linguistics that interests you. And when I say an area of linguistics, the video lectures that I've been giving for the course, that are included in the course, other than the ones that are something like what is semantics or what is phonology, they're fairly focused in on a certain area of linguistics, like using the International Phonetic Alphabet, or consonants and phonetics, or semantic features. The the breadth of the topic of those video lectures is about what you'd want, I think, for the breadth of your Linguistics and Focus assignment. Don't choose an entire chapter. And feel free to talk with me or with others about what a good Linguistics and Focus assignment topic might be. But don't choose anything too broad, because you're going to take this, you're going to do some further research on it, you're going to make some connections between this area of linguistics and language teaching, or connections between this area of linguistics and a language other than English, maybe a language that you've learned or a language that you're learning. The response to this assignment has two components. There will be a PowerPoint or a Prezi or a video or a web page, and there will be a written explanation for this presentation, for the PowerPoint, the Prezi, the video, or the web page. The written explanation should be around 750 to 1,000 words. And I ask that this be completed and uploaded to Moodle by July 21st. If you add up all the minutes spent on videos for this course, you will find that I'm not lecturing for 45 hours, or what would it be, 13 times 3, 39 hours. There are not 39 hours of lectures in here. Forum participation is intended to be a significant component of the course. I am only assigning 5% of the grade for forum participation, but I do consider it equivalent to time spent in the classroom. I will be spending time in the forum, and I expect you to be spending time in the forum as well. One thing I'm concerned about with the forum is that some of you will be completing the chapter, or the section on semantics, while others are just digging into the section on phonology or morphology. I hope that as you get into the different sections, you'll see what the classmates who have finished before you have to say about it. And if you're one of the ones who's getting further ahead than the others, then please ask questions in the forum and start the discussions that they may participate in later. Finally, there's the clause on academic integrity, which I put in all my course outlines. You're aware of it, and you certainly can read more about it in the academic calendar. What else can we say there? It holds for online writing as well as other forms of written documents and papers. And yes, APA style is preferred. If you're not familiar with it, look for the online writing lab from Purdue University. They have a really great series of tutorials or series of explanations for APA writing. As you can see here, we have 14 different sections in the course, including the introduction. Some of the areas of linguistics we're looking at are phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics, discourse analysis, language change, dialect variation, language and culture, politics of language, and writing. We aren't going to be talking about language and the brain in this course. We aren't going to be talking about child language acquisition, second language acquisition, or computational linguistics. The 4 assignments are spread out here. You see assignment 1, the activities and applications for phonetics and phonology. Activities and applications 2 is on vocabulary and morphology and syntax. Activities and applications 3 is on semantics, pragmatics, and discourse analysis. And the last one says language policy, but it's going to include anything related with language culture, language change, dialect variation. If you have any questions about the course outline, please ask them in the forum. Thanks very much.